And so it begins. So I've played LOK Digital for 2 episodes now. I'd say it's mostly a tutorial. It leads you into what you're supposed to be doing in this game. Now, for those that haven't watched the other 2 episodes, please go do. They're basically a tutorial or like how to play this game. Anything going from here on out, I have not seen in the game yet. There were some recording mishaps that I had, so I had to replay Worlds 1, 2, and 3 when I'd already played them. Any puzzles that I take on now are going to be entirely like unseen before. Basics on how this game works: you've got a white board. You need to spell words that give you certain power-ups and make the board completely black. The power-ups will turn white tiles to black tiles in very particular ways. So every word before, or every world before, has given us a new word to work with. Lock gives you 1 to place anywhere you feel like. Tlack gives you 2 to place adjacent to each other, and Ta will give you 1 to place on any letter type, and every letter of that type is then going to be blacked out. So like if I played it on T's, all T's on the board are gone. A's, all A's are gone, so on and so forth. Now we're learning that tiles with the letter X are conductors. Oh, so they allow you to play through them, but you still have to paint them. Interesting. Can I play... Wait, you can turn letters through it? Oh, that's cool. That is cool. So I played a plaque there and then painted the 2 X's. I can see a lock through here, then I'll paint this X, and then paint this one. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so last time I talked a bit about like how this game gets puzzle level design really good. It always introduces to you a new concept in very, very small state spaces, in areas that like it feels like the solution is just natural. Like when I played levels 1, 2, and 3, it's just this is the only play that I have. This is the only play that I have. Oh, that taught me that I can go through X's without actually having to tell me like with a bunch of text on screen, this is how you do this, right? I'm narrating that to you because, well, I've got nothing else to talk about, right? But games doing that, it feels like it's babying you through the solution instead of trusting you to be smart enough to get the solution yourself. Guys, I'm smart enough to get the solution myself. Look at me. Look at that's part of like the draw of puzzle games, you know? I'm seeing a tlack through here. And if I paint these 2 squares, I'm seeing a Ta afterwards to paint the rest of the X's. Again, I didn't even know that that Ta was there. I was actually thinking, if I go back to the previous level, that I was going to find another Tlack somewhere, just because I thought that there was a bunch of L's and K's on the board, but there's too much... how do I put this? I'm talking too much and I'm not actually looking at the board. You can just stumble into solutions like that early on, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. If you make it too obvious to the player, it can feel like they're just going through the motions with puzzle solving compared to actually doing it. Low has that problem for me. But this, I know that it's going to introduce me to a concept and then make it more difficult as time progresses. All right, so I'm seeing a tlack through here. And if I painted these 2, I could see, ooh. Okay, so I can get a tlack through all of there, and then I can get a Ta at the very end. That works. The Ta is going to have to be, it doesn't matter on what, it can just be any X's. Perfect, that works. I'm allowed to change direction anywhere around this corner, which is a lot. I would just need to paint these 2 squares to be able to like skip over them at some point. So I need to find a lock or a tlack to do that. I can find a lock like this. No, because I can't go down after this O. I'm just so used to like changing wherever I want to. I have to branch into this X again to be able to get that lock. Then if I paint here, I can grab another O to be able to get that lock dealt with. But I want to make sure... Oh, I have to get all the way back to that A to be able to pick up this T. There's an O right after it. I guess I can do... Hold on, can I do this? Where I branch it through the same X's? No, you can't. Right, and I can't change direction here anyways. So I'm thinking that this lock might not be it. I'm thinking that I have to spell this L-O-K eventually. So what other options do I have? Well, this is the only L that's attached to anything. And that's the only way that I can like start a word is a T and L, and that's it. So the T isn't attached to anything, and this is the only L that's attached. So this is the only play that I can make at the beginning. Hitting this O does nothing for me, so I have to hit this O, which then means that I have to hit this K. because I can't spell like look or anything. Now I have one letter to place somewhere, or one wild card to place somewhere. Where do I want to play it? And this attaches the L to like the setup, which allows me to spell another lock, which I guess will allow me to spell this lock, which then allows me to spell a ta to get rid of the rest of the, conductors in this level. There we go. Man, ta is powerful. I feel like there's going to be a lot of these conductor levels that are going to be ended by playing a ta on all of your X's. I'm seeing a T hidden behind an O, which means the only way to get rid of it is by attaching this to some other kind of a word. So if I were to come in here with an L, that would work, but I don't think there's any way for me to come in here with an L. So if I can find a tlack, that fills out one of the spots. I could maybe spell a lock to get rid of this O. So now I just need to figure out which X's I'm safe to get rid of. I actually can't play this tlack first, because if I do, it locks me out of playing this lock because I can't conduct through these X's anymore. Interesting. But if I play this lock, I can't do that because then I hit this A instead. Ooh, sneaky. What if I play this tlack instead so that I can get rid of this O and K at the same time? Well, that doesn't quite work because I want to be able to spell a lock through here. Well, I don't exactly need this X. Or I don't need these two X's, I guess. So then I can play this lock instead to then play the ta to get rid of the rest of the X's, and that works. Cool. So we can change if ever we hit this corner at all. I'm seeing a ta, I'm seeing, hold on, a V. Now, it's only introduced to me new mechanics or words at the beginning of a world. I don't think it's going to ask me to add a word to my dictionary mid-level or like mid-world. So I'm not going to try to spell anything with this V, like vo, vol, volt. None of them are going to like spell anything for me. So I'm seeing a lock and I'm seeing a ta. The lock is going to have to get rid of the V. The ta is going to have to get rid of all of the X's. So to spell a lock, I can go through like this to hit it. And then the ta is going to be able to go through all the black letters, back around. That works. Lego? No. I'm seeing a tlack. What else am I seeing? I'm seeing if I can get rid of the E and the G, I can make it to this X, make it down, make it here, and get a lock. That works. And to get rid of the E and G, I can just use the tlack from before. And then after I get this lock spelt with, it's just going to be that I play a ta. And now it needs some X's to bounce through, so this is where I made a play too quickly. What X's do I want to bounce it through? Well, from here, down to here, across here, so I can paint this guy and not have it mess with that. There we go, another level down. I'm seeing an L up here, which makes me think that I'm going to need to bounce it into a lock eventually, which would force me to, after hitting this conductor, I can't play it down. I can't play it off to the right because that's an A. So, sorry, it's a TL, not just an L. So then that means that I can get a tlack out of this. Wait, what? Oh, because these aren't painted in yet. Right, I'm jumping the gun. So I need to play a tlack somewhere else. So I'm seeing a TL. I would want to hit this conductor and then be able to hit... Ooh, where's the A and K from there? Interesting. Let me play the lock first. This T can then bounce into the L, and then... Oh no, but it hits an O first. Interesting. And I don't have anything spelled with an O. Could I also spell lock here? Yes, that works. Okay, so let me spell lock in this direction first, so that I can then spell lock the other way around. So like lock here. And then this allows me to play a ta at the very end, but I need to play the tlack first to be able to paint all of these squares. So the two that I put down from the lock to be able to reach this A are instead going to be played here to be able to hit the, tlack that I brought up at the beginning of this level. And then we hit the X's to finish off the level. Cool. All right, harder levels it is. Facts. Seeing TL, is there any AK that I can get to? I need to get through a Z first, so I need to find a lock. This is that lock. So I can play a lack, or a tlack, which I would want to play across here to be able to make this lock, but it hits that conductor, and that doesn't work. I could play a taw instead, but the taw is probably going to be to get rid of all of the X's. How do I play a lock, or sorry, the tlack to be able to make me play this lock feasibly? I would just simply play the taw first on the conductors, but I need to play this tlack before I hit the conductors. Do I? Yeah, because when I hit the conductors, the tlack is now no longer able to go across the sides. And there's no other play that I can make at the beginning, right? There's this L that I could use instead. Ah, now I can play this tlack instead, and that makes more sense. So then I play the taw on all the X's, and then play the tlack to be able to make my lock, and then I can get rid of the F in the corner. Okay? What's next? I'm seeing tlack? Yeah, there's gonna be a way to make it out of all of the bounces that we have in the middle. Is there any way to make a raw taw? No. There's going to be a way to make a lock, right? No, that doesn't work. And I can't turn it after I start. Is that the only play at the beginning? I'm gonna act as if it is. I'll come back to it in case it isn't. So after making, hold on, slack, there we go. Where do I want to place these two? Well, I saw a lock through here, but I need to hit a K somewhere, which is back at the beginning, which means that I would need to bounce back through the conductors, which means that I wouldn't even want to go down here. I'd want to bounce like this, which means I need to get rid of these A's. If I get rid of the A's, though, I don't have a taw to get rid of all of the X's, so I don't think that's the proper play. I think I should be playing other taws first before that happens. So let's get rid of the S and M, just because we can. This first taw is played, which will allow me to play a lock through it. And then I need to play a taw at the end. This lock can get rid of the N, this taw can get rid of the R. No, because I need to get rid of this N. So when I played my tlack at the very beginning, I got rid of S and M. I need to get rid of, hold on. S and M. Yeah, there are no other S's and M's on the board, so like that is an alright play. Hold on, can I play this taw instead? Does that change anything? I don't think so. We play an R. We then play this lock. I need to figure out how to get rid of one more letter somehow. So the tlack that I play at the very beginning, is this truly the only play that I have? Because I can't make it reach an A. I could play a taw at the very beginning. Get rid of something like this. I can't play another taw. There's an L and a K. There's two Ks on board, but there's only one O, which means that I can only make one lock. And then the second K is meant for the tlack somewhere. What am I missing? Because I'm assuming that it's something to do with this tlack that I play at the very beginning not hitting the correct pieces. If I get rid of... I can't get rid of the N because that begets me getting rid of the O. I can't get rid of the M because that begets me getting rid of the K, which are necessary for the lock, which will get rid of more blocks on board. If I hit the S and M, that didn't work. If I hit the R and M, that doesn't change anything. Unless does it? Oh, no. I needed to hit a taw that hits these two M's. That's what I was thinking. I thought that there needed to be a duplicate of letters somewhere, and I didn't see that the M was duplicated here. My mind just passed over that. So the first play is a taw on the M's. The second play is a tlack. Hold on. The taw can't be using this A. The tlack needs it. We play it on this M, so that the tlack can then go through and hit two different letters. It's not getting rid of this M, which is going to have to be hit by a taw in the future, because it's already been hit. We now have the option to just get rid of, lock. We get rid of the N, and then taw at the very end is going to be used to get rid of all of the X's. There we go. All right, B and F we haven't seen be used at all, so those are gonna have to be wildcarded at some point. I'm seeing a TL, it's probably a TLAC. We're going to get one lock at some point. So we're getting one TLAK, we're getting one LOX, we're getting a TA here, we're getting a TA here. So I've got a TA to get rid of all of the white space, and I've got a TA to get rid of all of the X's. Then I've got a lock to get rid of the F, and I've got a TLAC to get rid of the B and something else. So let's start with how I would get the TLAC connected to things. Well, I can get rid of all of the white spaces at the beginning to be able to start bridging like this. But I hit a K too early, so that doesn't work. I need to find a way to bridge elsewhere, or I need to get rid of this K by playing the lock first. If I play this lock, where would I want to play my space? If I get rid of the B or F, that doesn't quite work, because then I'm not going to have other spaces for my TLAC to hit in the future. So I need to play the lock first, getting rid of one of the regular spaces, to sneak basically like the wild card from this lock underneath the others. Then the TLAC comes out, which I'm assuming is just like... Hold on. Down here. Oh, I can't get up to that K up top? Oh, interesting. Okay, so I have to get rid of this T to get that done. But if I get rid of this T... Yeah, I do have another Ta to be able to hit eventually. There's an extra T. So that's where my painted square for my lock has to go, is getting rid of this guy so that my TLAC can actually be written into a K. Did I... TL, hit this, hit this, hit this. A... Oh, this is the end of it, right? I forgot I'm not able to corner through this A. How do I make a TLAC in that point? Like at that point. I would need to get rid of this T. That could also work. Okay, so I go TL, hit this, hit this, up, go over, go down, go over, go up, go across here, picking up this A. Don't want to pick up this T. I don't want to pick up this T either. Okay. So the lock at the very beginning gets rid of this guy, and then this Ta gets rid of this T from up top. I paint all the white squares, and then the TLAC goes through the like obstacle course that we set up for it. I'm gonna click rather than drag to make this make more sense. Here, and we ping pong around the bottom a bit more to hit this A without bottlenecking ourselves into the corner, and then we can hit the K at the end to then get rid of the B and F, and then we can just simply make a Ta to get rid of all of our conductors. Oh, this game is getting cool. We've got a T and an A. We've got an LOX. All right, that's World 4 completed. I'm very interested to play more levels. I hope you guys are too. I'll see you guys in the next episode.